The country ethnic cleansing took place in was in Indonesia, especially in East Timor. This was right above Australia, so that's where it was located. And ethnic cleansing is basically the removal of an ethnic group from an area by the government of a country.
The 1999 East Timorese crisis began with attacks of general violence throughout the country. Centered in the capital, Dili, the violence erupted after a majority of eligible East Timorese voters chose independence from Indonesia. Earlier that time, the Portuguese departed East Timor in August 1975, and Indonesian troops soon began infiltrating the border from Indonesian West Timor. On November 28, the democratically elected government of East Timor, fearing an imminent Indonesian invasion, proclaimed the Democratic Republic of East Timor. On the morning of December 7, the Indonesians responded by initiating a naval. It has been pointed out that the ethnic cleansing in the East Timor was a tactical move to lure people into the West Timor, which, unlike East Timor, is part of Indonesia. The Timorese faced oppression, human rights abuses, massacres, extrajudicial killings, starvation, and many feared for a massive deportation. It was estimated that 600,000 were displaced, 200,000 people died, and 300,000 were moved into camps by Indonesian armed forces.
At first, it was considered that they would be leaving for some 2,000 or so people in their campground Timor-Sea. Fortunately, they airlifted them to safety. Fleeing from the East Timor to West Timor, many escaped into the hills and are still facing a lack of clean water and food. This violence led to a delay in the elections, and even months before the elections, there had been many killings by pro-integration paramilitaries. Out of 99, over 75% voted for independence. Resulted in Jakarta declaring martial law in the East Timor, where violence, killings, massacres, rapes, burning, and shootings are taking place by the Indonesian-backed militias. It has also been controlled by them so that the militia law doesn't mean anything. The Indonesian legislature finally ratified the East Timorese vote on October 20th, 1999, allowing East Timor to officially be an independent nation. It was a long process and had a huger voter turnout. There had been many threats and actual increased violence by paramilitaries to discourage voting. Results were when the US and British announced military aid freezes, the Indonesian military allowed peacekeepers in, and they were able to exert their influence thanks in part to public pressure. Sadly, it was after many people had been killed and displaced. As East Timor was destroyed, there were results in loan from the World Bank in offer to help rebuild the nation, would result in loans to repair and possible structural adjustments like economic policies and policies which led to poverty around the world.